Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. And I'm all in on Scoot Henderson. I am all in. I'm going to go as far as saying, I know people are going to be like, that's not really a surprise. He's supposed to be a top 3 pick. But I think he has a 0% chance of busting. And what I mean by that, at worst, he's going to be a quality player in this league because of his dog mentality, his I want to kill you out there on the floor mentality, his work ethic, his want. He is a ball magnet. He was 6'2", but when it came to G League Ignite, this dude was still averaging 5 rebounds per game. He's a great manipulator. He does a really good job manipulating defenses. He beats his first man. He recognizes the center's out of position. He could thread a pass into a very tight window. With his above the rim athleticism, with his freakish speed and his ability to really manipulate defenses using his combo cross, using hesitations, being extremely crafty, working down the lane, it opens up so much. He can kill from mid-range. He doesn't just finish with authority. He can finish with touch. He can use that backboard and rim for protection to finish on the other end of the basket. You know, he's 6'2", but he's 195 pounds. He's built like a safety. It's this unorthodox 6'8" wingspan. So he's going to be able to shut off some guards. It depends on the personnel, though. If there's bigger guards, it could be a different issue, or it could be a totally different story. But he clogs the lanes. He has that one on the defense side of the basketball as much as he wants it on the offensive side of the basketball. And with his above the rim athleticism, if someone's beating him to the basket, or let's say his teammate is missing an assignment, someone's come to the basket, he has really good recovery skills of using that athleticism and using that wingspan to block a shot or alter a shot. But I'm so in. This dude was just working out with Stephen Curry the other day. I mentioned those great parts of his game right there, but his Achilles heel is not being a great three-point shooter, only 27%, and he did not attempt a lot of threes when it came to G League Ignite. He relied on deep twos, relied on mid-range, attacking downhill, but him working out with Stephen Curry, building those habits, and if he potentially goes to Charlotte, you know, one of the commentators over there, Del Curry, another one of the best shooters of all time, one of the smoothest strokes in the league from beyond the arc back when he played with the Charlotte Hornets. So that could be something huge for Scoot Henderson. Not an awful free throw shooter. Maybe you would have liked to see him get to the free throw line more. Only got there 4 times per game because sometimes he could settle for those mid-range jumpers. But 76% clip isn't awful. But when you watch Scoot Henderson out there on the floor, this dude just wants the basketball. He averaged more rebounds per game than Jalen Green did for G League Ignite, going on to snag 5 rebounds per game, which is very impressive at 6'2". He just wants the basketball. He wants it down the stretch. He's not afraid. His floor, in my opinion, is probably Colin Sexton. That may be a potential 6-man down the road, like Colin Sexton. He's coming off the bench now in Utah. Or he has shown that he can get hot. He can score the heck out of the basketball. He's a walking bucket. He has a nice handle, and he's one of the best competitors in this draft. He's some of the best speed and quickness in this draft to just accelerate downhill, kill you in the open floor. That's what I'm so excited about with Scoot Henderson. And going back to the killer part of things, you know that showcase game was supposed to be all about Wembanyama. Wembanyama did his thing. He showed the versatility on defense outside on the perimeter and the interior, showed his versatility on offense from all 3 levels, raining threes. He had 37 points. But Scoot Henderson also, he wants to spoil the party. You know, G League Ignite went on to win. They went on to beat the Metropolitans in that showcase game. He was showing like, I could hoop too. 28 points, nearly 10 assists. He was going right at Wembanyama, drove downhill against him, did a good job protecting the basketball. Wembanyama got him a couple times, but he also had a very difficult shot over Wembanyama. So he is a difficult shot maker, and he is an absolute killer. And on defense, he looks to contest every shot. He really does. His athleticism, he's going to have enough verticality to contest shots, and he does a good job helping out a center, just recognizing he's a great communicator out there on the floor. He's going to clog the lanes just so quickly. He covers so much ground so quickly because of his speed, because of how much he wants it. Motor is not a question with this dude at all. But I'm very excited about the playmaking because a lot of people are like, if he goes to Charlotte at number 2, how's that fit going to be? You know, he's a ball handler. Scoot Henderson is a point guard, obviously as well. 6'2", 195 pounds, but he'll do a really good job setting up LaMelo. LaMelo has shown that he can relocate in certain situations, and he is a taller type of guard at 6'6", but they complement each other very well because you'll have Scoot Henderson's athleticism, you'll have his mid-range shooting. That LaMelo is a good athlete, but he's not a fantastic athlete, doesn't have ridiculous speed, he relies on angles, some shiftiness, but Scoot Henderson brings the mid-range to the table, and LaMelo can maybe cover up some of the deficiencies from beyond the arc with LaMelo's ability to shoot it from beyond the arc. So they'll complement each other very well in those departments, and Scoot Henderson, his ability to collapse the defense with his speed, his ability to work downhill is going to open up so much, but I just love how much he just wants to work downhill, how much he just wants to kill someone at the basket when he's working downhill. And Scoot Henderson's ability to just have this, he has a bigger frame than LaMelo, and he can just get after it defensively. LaMelo is young, so he can get stronger. Obviously, you want him to stay healthy, but some have deficiencies that the other don't have, so I think they're going to complement each other very well. Scoot Henderson, this past year at G League Ignite, in 30.7 minutes per game, he averaged 16.5 points, 14 field goal attempts per game he attempted, making 6 of them, shot 42.9% from the field. Sometimes his shot selection, it needs to be reined in. Can take those deep twos like I mentioned. He went on to attempt only 2.7 threes per game, making 0.7 of them at a 27% clip. Got to the free throw line 3 times per game, making 76% of them. Not awful, not great, but obviously he's young. He can get better. 5 rebounds, 6.8 assists, and I love that he just has pinpoint accuracy. When he recognizes a teammate diving to the hoop, he has enough touch, but he has enough velocity to fit it in a tight window, use bounce passes, just over-the-head passes. Like he knows in certain situations which pass to make with certain amount of touch and velocity. 3.4 turnovers. Turnovers are a part of the game. You just don't want to obviously have big-time turnovers down the stretch all the time. You want to have this, or at all, but it's part of the game. You're going to make mistakes down the stretch. But when it comes to turnovers, you want to have that short-term memory. You want to put it behind you, and you want to make sure you're not making the same mistake. But it's just such a fast-paced game. But 1.1 steals per game, 0.6 blocks, which is pretty good for someone that's 6'2", averaging nearly a block per game. And he does such a great job utilizing screens as well. He's so patient in the screen and roll game. He recognizes there's a certain amount of separation when a screen's set. I'm going to pull up for a mid-range jumper, or I'm going to look to find my teammate rolling to the basket. So he's very patient. He does a really great job running the screen and roll game, or just using screens properly. And I think he has an underrated basketball IQ.